welcome to the DogWater and Sales Guy Show. I am the sales guy.
I'm DogWater.
And we are live.
Damn right.
From Hong Kong. We are here fighting on the liberation front for the people of Hong Kong, trying to keep this territory free from the Chinese Communist Party. DogWater and I, we are liberators. We are people. We are two men of the people. Wherever the people call us, we will come to fight. You see what we did in 3 days in Ukraine. We was out there blowing up tanks, all types of shit. You see what we did last week in Russia. We weren't able to get the cameras up above the basement, but when we got up there, we fucked Putin up. They don't show that on Russian state-controlled media. They didn't show that left hand that DogWater put in his chin.
I have Vladdy screaming for his mammy.
Screaming for his daddy. I'm talking about y'all. Shit was like a movie. You think Will Smith slapped Chris Rock hard? You should have seen my man over here. DogWater. I was watching a Shane Gillis interview and he was talking about Nate Diaz, and he said he seen him slap somebody, and he said he slapped him like an Indian. The dude was like, slapped him like an Indian. He was like, what does that mean? He was like, there was no body or anything in it, and then he was like, it was just like. He said he just smacked him like that. He said there was no body or nothing. It was just all hand motion.
Oh, that's crazy.
But what do you think about it here down in Hong Kong so far?
Hong Kong is a crazy place. They tell you not to come to China. I saw why.
Very small apartments in here.
I've seen a lot of these types of stores. They're called sweatshops. Yeah, Nike. That's you. Sweatshops. I've had to cover the other side. We'll get to the other side later.
But
yeah, I had to cover this side though while I've been here.
Just want to give a big thank you to the crew. Actually, the set is a full apartment here in Hong Kong.
Freaking nuts.
So they just rented out the apartment for the week. We got the set put in here.
In Hong Kong, this is a 3-bedroom apartment. Just this room.
6,000 yen a month.
Crazy.
It's pretty steep. But so let's just...
That's $3 American for you.
Let's just get straight into the nitty gritty of what's going on. What do you think about the Oscar fiasco?
That's the only part of the Oscars I saw, and it's because I watched it on Twitter.
Yeah, I didn't watch some of the Oscars. Like,
I've heard a lot of discourse on it.
Not to be a prick or anything, but who the fuck is watching the Oscars?
Millions of people.
No, but like who though? Like
anybody who's anybody?
I feel like you had to be a bored motherfucker to sit at home and watch the Oscars. My dog, like, keep it a buck. Like, you never know, like, Best Picture. It's always a movie you've never heard of.
A lot of the people that walk around society like this.
Oh, yeah.
We definitely watch the Oscars.
And,
every single year it is on.
I remember
we have family in our foyer, and our patio is filled with everyone, and it is all happiness. Are you in front of me? I can't see. My nose is too far stuck in the air. I cannot put my head down because I am too fucking rich and proud.
And we was talking about this at work. It's like, why is there so much like adulation and love and shit for like people who just act like other people?
That's what I was saying though. Like, how do you even know if that slap was real? Like, it's literally No,
that was real.
I mean, like, if you think about it though, I think it was real too. But if you think about it, you are in the one place where all of the best actors are gonna be. To where, like, if you wanted to see a fake slap on stage, like, those are the people that are gonna stage it. Like, you know what I mean?
Very true.
But I don't think any part of that was staged.
Because think about that, like the way the crowd reacted.
Yeah,
that's how a real crowd reacts. But like you saying, that could just be trained actors. Like, all right, Will's gonna slap Chris.
Yeah, and they've all seen scripts before.
Yeah,
like,
and then they just all sitting there
like, are we really doing this? Like, they're like all like nudging Will, like, you actually gonna slap? Like, Denzel's walking him like back and forth. Like, it's like his part.
But I'm gonna keep it a buck though, like. Like, fuck Will Smith, G. I used to be a Will Smith fan, but once you slap my nigga Chris Rock, like, it's no love for you no more. Like, I was telling DogWater before the show started, like, if I seen Will Smith tonight, like, I'm on his ass. Like, on Chris Rock's behalf. You know what I'm saying? Like, have you ever watched a Chris Rock special?
No.
Exactly. Well, wait. That was absolutely wrong. Chris Rock is one of the funniest comedians ever.
I watched a lot of his movies. Madagascar 1.
Top 5 comedian
Madagascar
ever.
2.
And I think
Madagascar 3.
I think if I was him, and I'll say this, he did handle it very professionally. You know what I mean? Because
are you kidding me?
If he would have started trying to fight Will Smith, that was the last thing black people would have needed.
That's exactly what my girlfriend said. Like, he did so much more than Will Smith did in that moment.
Yeah.
Like, there was literally slow-mo of the moment. Chris Rock, you had to go to slow-mo to see him clench his fist like he was going to punch Will Smith. He had so much restraint. Like, if you watched it in real time, you don't even see him clench his fist. Like, he got hit. He clenches his fist for, like, not even a nanosecond. And, like, it's just unclenched, and he's, like, back to normal. And I'm like, it's just a peak professionalism. Like, he's like, I know where I'm at. Like, I can't do this. Like, especially, like you said, like, it's black on black. Like, you do that in the middle of, like, the Oscars. Like,
they're going to be like, we'll never let these Negroes back in here again.
Yeah.
And
people this.
This is my thing, right? Then Will Smith bitch ass up on the stage. I was taught to love. I was taught to protect. I'm like, bitch ass nigga, shut the fuck up. Like, this is what if I was Chris Rock, you know what I said? As soon as he slapped me and walked back, I would have said, what has 2 index fingers and cheats on her husband? I would say, who has 2 index fingers and cheats on her husband with 20-year-old R&B singers? Jada Pinkett Smith. I would have just been like, I mean, really?
Is it cheating though?
What?
Like, that's my, like, if you really want to get to the root of the problem, I think for Will Smith, don't let other people fuck your wife.
Well, yeah, like Will Smith, he just
what? Like, I'm not judging y'all or anything. You have open relationships. I do not care. But like, that mental toll that he's probably had to deal with. Yeah. And if you are gonna do it, don't talk about it in front of everybody.
But like, that's the thing. Like, and I heard somebody say this before on a podcast. Like, you could tell, like, she's just a straight up narcissist.
Yeah, I think so too.
Like 100%. Like, you can tell everything is about her.
She's
like,
one of these people, I think.
Yeah, she literally cheated on her husband. You seen that nigga sitting at the red table. That nigga was like this, half dead, sitting there. And she was like, me and August, we had an entanglement. You know what I mean? I wasn't feeling like I was like, come on, bitch, get real right now. Then them and their fucking weird ass kids.
I was just thinking
they're just strange people. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Will Smith is a strange guy. And we was talking about this as well. Like, those people, dog, they're so out of touch with reality.
Yeah.
Like, you have to think, bro, Will Smith hasn't just been famous. He's been world famous for the last, like, 35 years.
You can relate it to politicians, like how old they are and like, their seats, like they've been there for like 40 years. Like, he's been in Hollywood for literally 40 years.
Yeah, and Chris Rock too. Like, yeah, Chris Rock was one of the biggest comedians in the world 30 years ago.
I do think comedians though, like, I think they try to stay more like involved with reality because like they have to be
down to the ground to make comedy that's relatable.
Relate to people.
Yeah, because a movie doesn't have to be relatable.
Yeah,
you know, I loved Hancock.
But like, I think
and
that's
I can't jump 6 inches. I
think a big reason why Adam Sandler's so successful is because he walks around like a normal person.
And yeah, his movies is relatable.
He like is when a normal person. Yeah, you can relate to almost every single one of his movies. You think of any?
That's crazy, my dog. You think of any Adam Sandler movie, it's so easy to relate to.
It's he keeps it as simple as possible, and his comedy is just. I mean, it is a certain type, but I don't know. I mean. He was my favorite like actor growing up, like, and he like all the movies he put together. He's probably the actor I've seen the most movies. I don't watch a whole lot of movies, but I've probably seen every one of his movies.
Adam Sandler does have a lot of movies.
Not most everyone, but I've seen a lot of them.
Huh?
I said not most.
No, I'm saying he has a lot of movies. Have you ever seen Just Go With It?
Yeah.
That movie's hilarious.
Taking a fucking Devlin.
Yeah. And that nigga Adam Sandler, he got a little hoop game too.
Yeah, I mean, like, cause he's that's all he does. Is what it sounds like. It looks like when he's not doing his acting jobs. Or does he direct, or is he? He's
he
probably
directs
producer.
He directs too.
Does he?
But yeah, let's check some of these
That Click
out.
movie though, dude. Just the concept of it was amazing. Like he probably had hope on it, but like just the concept of doing that was just awesome.
Let's look at some of these outfits.
Yeah, somebody's just nuts. Somebody said whenever Billie Eilish started getting big, he was giving her clothing.
Yeah, and it's like that's why people love him so much. Like whoever sees this guy and was like, oh, he has like a $500 million.
Yeah, I think that's the reason he probably does it too. One of the reasons.
I think he's just a down to earth guy. Like he's just a. Then that's another type of thing, my dog. Like he's been what? Adam Sandler, he's been a millionaire for almost 40 years. Wow. So like that shit is old news to them. Like
that's what I saw. Tyrann Mathieu. He spoke to the LSU kids, and he was like, he literally told them straight up. He goes, "You think I give two fucks about what I did in the NFL?" Like he's like, as long as my family's straight, as long as we're good at home. He goes, as long as I got everybody taken care of around me, he goes, I don't give a fuck about any of that.
For real.
And he was like, he was being real as fuck with them. And he's like, I thought, like, he goes, I got everything I wanted. He goes, I wanted fame. I wanted followers. I wanted all this bullshit. He goes, I got here and it's not what I want. It doesn't change you. He's like, it's not what I look at and I feel something with. He's like, it's just there. He's
and and that's real shit. Yeah. But like that speech, like what percentage of that you think is just falling on deaf ears? In a room like that,
I don't know though.
I just being real, I'd say probably 70% of them ain't listening.
It's just Brian Kelly just got there. They're his recruits. They're probably listening to a lot of the shit. Like the freshmen definitely are probably listening to the shit. It's also a campus legend who's also an NFL champ.
Yeah, but I just feel like that's easy to say because you've done it. I've never had money, so how do you know that ain't gonna work for me? How do you not know that that's really what the missing link in my life to being happy is?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's like Ty Gurley said it best. He was like, whoever said that money doesn't buy happiness was broke. He was like, I'm the happiest I've ever been in my life because I have no problems anymore because I have money now. And he was like, it was everything I ever dreamed of. And he's like, and I absolutely love it. And I was like, so why can't people be like that? And I get some people who be like, oh, money, it brings all these problems and shit. But like, that's because you let it. I don't care about breaking no relationship with nobody.
I get the cliche because it's basically talking about what Tyrann Mathieu was talking about. Like once you get there and realize like you have all this money and shit, like the money doesn't move you anymore. Like once you have it though.
Yeah.
But he kind of like passed up the part. Like once he got it, like you definitely feel relief.
Like, so much relief.
And that's just a huge weight off your chest, like just to live your life.
And like, I think, like I said, for me, that's what would be different because like, obviously the people that's close to me ain't the type of people that would just like, you know, some people get rich and they have people around them who literally just drag them down because they constantly just expecting shit. You know what I mean? Constantly asking for shit, expecting shit and shit like that. But like, me, I don't feel like I have anybody around me that would do that. And if they did, I would have zero problem telling them like, no, I'm not doing all that shit. And if you don't want to like me no more and want to talk shit about me, that's fine. Like, I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? Like I seen like a rapper talking about, he's like, I used to have all my niggas around. And then as soon as I like stopped paying for everything, like niggas stopped coming around. And they was talking down on me. I'm like, fuck them. You know what I mean? Who cares if they talking down? Like, you know what I mean? You might be sad for like a day or so, but like, I don't give no fuck, bro. That's one thing I am never about to let nobody like genuinely bother me. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Well, my thing is, I heard this thing that described me very well, and it's especially in like terms of conflict. I am a consequentialist. I think about the consequences. Like I think out almost every scenario, and I go, "Do I really want this shit? Do I really want this shit?"
And do you think about that beyond the level of somebody bothering you and you think, if I do this, these are the consequences? Or do you take it down to the level of like somebody, like, say I do sales, somebody asks me a question, I sit there and think about the answer, because like, if I answer this way, then she's about to ask me about this and this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When you saying like you think about the consequences, like, do you take it to the level where you think about the consequences of an answer to a simple question because you know it might trigger this, and then next thing you know, you hearing about some shit you don't want to hear about?
If it's gonna, I think I stay away from conflict as much as possible. So like I only really use it in terms of conflict. Like even when people get in fights, like I'll always ask them. Like the first thing I ask them, I'm like, "Well, did you solve anything?" Like if they can't say, like, usually the only thing you can say is, "I feel much better." Like I beat their ass, and I'm like, "Okay, good for you."
I remember,
but other than that, like, did you solve anything else? Like, cause that's my whole thing. Like, I don't think
have you ever knocked a person unconscious though?
Dude, I've never fought anybody.
Reed. Knocking
somebody feeling awesome, but
knocking somebody out unconscious who started a problem with you, who came and brought the problem to you. There's literally like not many feelings better. I mean, there's obviously a lot of feelings better, like shit that I wouldn't get into. But like to for somebody who like wanted to smoke with you, you had no like beef with them, and you punched them in their chin and watched them fold like to the ground. Like it's extremely fulfilling.
It'd be a huge like primal feeling.
It's just fulfilling,
like you just feel better than them at that point in time. Which is fucked to say, but like you do get that feeling because it's just like it's a primal thing. Yeah. Like you just feel like if an animal did that to another animal, they're literally sitting there with their chest puffed out, like right, like you would. You're just acting like normal.
Like one time, dog, I had an MMA fight, right, and I beat this dude's ass, and it kind of honestly, like just keeping it a buck, like it kind of scared me, like how good it felt to hurt him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Cause like I took his back and he was basically on all fours, and I just put my hands on his back and just kneed him in his ribs, like full force, and broke his ribs. Like you could hear his breathing change after, and then just got on top of him, was hitting him, and like just seeing him on the ground, like having a hard time to breathe. Like I was just like I felt like a kid, bro.
Yeah.
And then like I walked out of the cage, right? And I seen his wife and kids crying.
Damn.
I seen his wife and kids crying, right?
Yeah.
And it made me over the moon. Like when I seen them crying, I could not stop smiling. Like it was one of the best feelings of my life. Like, you know what I mean? Like, motherfucker, you're talking shit to me? You know what I mean? I just came to fight. This ain't the UFC. We ain't selling pay-per-views, motherfucker. So when you get to talking all that shit about how you gonna knock me out and how all I know how to do is wrestle and all this shit, and then for you to be laying there like bleeding, tasting your own blood, ribs broken, like your kids are crying, you know what I mean? It's just an amazing feeling. Like it's literally amazing.
I don't know. I think if I ever fought somebody, I would literally just try to get in top mount as quick as possible. That's all I'm doing. Like, just because, like, at that point, I can either... I basically, like, have the options like I do in the fucking game, Valhalla. You just fucking sit there in your head, you're like, do I kill them? Or you're like, do I embarrass them? Or do I humble them? And like there's like all three of those things, and you're like
circle, square, triangle.
Like you're like I watched a video. This dude was on top of him, basically in a full mount, but it was like he had no training to where like it was just him manhandling him, and he was on top of him. And this dude was on the ground like this, like trying to dodge this guy's punches, and the guy wasn't even punching, and he's still like talking shit on the ground. He's like, come on, bitch. And like the dude's like, are you fucking serious right now? Like the dude's like sitting here with his hand up like this, and like I'm pretty sure he like everybody else was like, what the fuck are you doing? Like because the dude was literally like on the ground, like all he had was his hands. And like he was just like this. The other dude was on like one knee, like with a fist over him. Like,
some people just don't know when to stop.
Yeah,
they don't know when they've lost.
Like
listen up, my dog. It's over.
He even if you put his lights out, like he's probably gonna wake up just saying the same shit. Like, come on, bitch.
Right. It's like a Masvidal type.
Yeah.
Like,
I still can't believe
he got beat up for 25 minutes, could barely stand up, and he's like, "Come on, pussy, come over here." Like, get the fuck out of town,
dude. They talked about on it was on the Lebertar show, but they were like, with the Chris Rock and Will Smith thing. The thing that would have been awesome would have been, and what they should have leaned into was the WWE type skit where after Will Smith slapped him and sits back down and he gets asked to leave by the Academy. He gets escorted out by the cops in handcuffs, and like they announce his Oscar. It's just a video cut scene to like Will Smith like fighting off like two cops, breaking out of the fucking cop car, and like getting his handcuffs off, and he's running to the stage, takes the Oscar, and he's like, "I got this." He's like WWE style. They said I think the glass breaks like Stone Cold, and he comes running in. Like that would have been so funny.
I thought it was hilarious how they said they asked him to leave and he was just like, no.
Yeah. I think it was the producer from that Levitar show.
I would have said, hey.
He tweeted out, he said, "You can refuse? Like, you can just refuse to
I walked up and I was a security. I said, hey, it's time for you and your hairless fucking wife to get up and get out of here, all right? Alopecia, is that what it's called? Yeah. Well, you and her get the hell out of here right now. Like, dog, I would have been making bald head jokes and everything. He defended his queen. Shut the fuck up. You think Chris Rock just is walking around like, here's two things. This is just my take, right? I'm always going to side with the comedian, right? Yeah. People will say, oh, he disrespected his wife and he protected his wife. You want to know a joke I heard someone say to Steve Jobs' wife? Somebody said, oh, he was married to Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs, a man who everybody wanted to work for except his pancreas. Oh, God. Yeah, and she laughed because it was a joke. And in a comedy setting, be ready to take a joke. You know what I mean?
That's crazy.
He said, G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it. And she was like, bitch, come on, man. Fucking get real. Like, for real. Because Will laughed. You seen Will. That was a genuine laugh. That wasn't no nervous laugh. Nothing like that. He laughed. She looked over at him and said, you could have let him disrespect me like that.
It didn't offend him enough.
Who?
Will.
How would it
That's
offend
what I'm saying,
him?
though.
It's a joke.
He literally defended her honor, basically.
What honor? Like, what are you talking
that's
about?
That's all it was.
No,
in,
but
in his mind, though, that's what he was doing.
He didn't defend her honor.
That's what he was doing, though.
Bro, she made him get his ass up and do that. It pretty well seems like...
I think it has a lot to do with him letting other dudes fuck his wife publicly. Like...
Yes, Reed, that
one... Like, he in
that
his
nigga,
mind, after she makes a, like, nod at him like that, he's like, people don't think I respect her. Like, people don't think I stand up for her. Like,
no, not even that. Reed, people think I'm soft.
Yeah.
Niggas have been on the internet for 2 years talking about how a nigga was fucking my wife. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. People been on it, like, my wife was literally talking about how I didn't satisfy her sexually. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, I feel like I felt like it was a multitude of things. Like, he was fed up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But the thing is, though, at the same time, he wasn't that mad at the joke. You know what I mean? It seems like as soon as she was like, you better do something, he was like, yeah, you're right. Niggas think I'm soft. You know what I mean? Yeah. It was just, it was so strange.
It was almost like a high school type skit.
Yeah. Now, how funny would it be if Chris Rock would have literally just whooped his ass right there?
But me being consequentialist, he had to know he was getting that Oscar, right? Like, he had to know going in, like, he's getting
Actually, do they know before?
I have to think, like, those people probably have a good idea. Like, their people probably have a good idea. But, like, if he knew, like, he knows he's going to get the mic. If he doesn't, like, he knows he's got a pretty good chance at it, I think, if he's sitting front row.
So it says, the only people who know the winner before the ceremony are the officials from PricewaterhouseCoopers. Yeah, I mean, I believe that. Because, like, at the Grammys, they don't know either. Because I remember when Macklemore beat Kendrick Lamar, and he was like Kendrick Lamar just kind of laughed. He kind of...
I'll stand up for you, Macklemore.
What? But, I remember it was a couple years ago. Who was it? Somebody beat Travis Scott for like best new artist or best album or something. And Travis Scott was like, or Cardi B. Cardi B beat Travis Scott for it was like album of the year or some shit like that. And like Travis Scott was standing backstage because he just performed and they had the camera on him. And he was like, "And your winner, Cardi B." And he was like, "What the fuck?" And just shook his head and then walked off the camera. So that's what made me think like, okay, so they probably don't know.
I don't know. I feel like the winner might.
I don't think they do.
I could see them telling the winner, "You can't tell, like, don't, like, keep it hush hush." But I don't know.
But how can you guarantee that, though?
You can't.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's probably the only way they do is, like, not tell them.
I don't know. I just think these Hollywood people probably got people everywhere. But if they don't know, yeah, I understand a lot more of why Will did it. But if he did know, though, if he knew, he would have known he was going to have the mic later in the night to where, like, he could have sounded off however he wanted to if he was offended. To where, like, there was no need. The other thing is, if you want to look like you're tough, why would you go up and openly bitch slap a dude?
Because that's the most demoralizing thing you can do to another guy. If you punch him in the face, it's not the same thing as slapping him like he's a child. It's just not the same.
I don't know.
Reed, if another man in front of your girlfriend comes up to you and punches you in the face or open hand slaps you across the face, which one would you rather take?
The feeling?
No. Which one, with everything involved, would you rather take?
I don't know, dude.
Would you rather have your girlfriend see a nigga punch you in your mouth or a nigga open hand slap you across the face like you're his child?
I don't think
that's the most demoralizing thing a man can, besides like I'm not even gonna say it, but like to slap somebody in their face. Cause like Shannon Sharp said, when you see a nigga you think less of, do you say I'm gonna punch that nigga in his face when you see him, or you say I'm gonna slap the shit out that nigga when I see him? No, I'm gonna slap the shit out of him because what's less. Like you seen that video I showed you last week where the dude slapped him. Why didn't he punch him? He slapped him to make him look like a bitch. Cause I slapped you in your face like a woman. You know what I mean? Like I bitch slapped you and you didn't do.
What if Chris Rock would have came back with just a slap back?
And then they started fighting like pimps and was just slapping each other.
Chris Rock would have the mic like, hold on, your turn. All right, 1, 2, 3, you go.
like them fucking slap fights.
Yeah.
But
you'd have people running up there on stage.
But don't let these laughs fool you, Will. Like let me catch you out here in Hong Kong, right? And it's like we're getting on your fucking ass.
We know where you're filming I Am Legend 2, motherfucker.
Exactly.
And guess what? You're gonna be a legend after he's done with you.
And Skeet Davidson, calm down how you talk about Ye, my nigga. Calm down how you be getting wild in them text messages. I'm in bed with your wife.
Everybody thinking that thing has to calm down.
Huh?
Kanye just needs to calm down in general, but
man, Kanye is that nigga.
He is.
I wish he still made good music, but
I don't
listen to his shit no more. It just started getting whack to me.
The title of that documentary though he had on Netflix, the way he spelled genius, perfectly. It was just perfect. Perfect explanation of his life. He's a genius, but you need to spell it like that.
How do you spell it?
You need to look it up. I couldn't tell you. It's just so weirdly spelled. I didn't even think it said genius. I had no idea what it spelled. But he spelled it so weird. And it just explains him. He's a genius, but he's...
What kind of genius? Musically?
Right there. It's J-E-E-N...
Yeah, I see it. Y-U-H-S. What kind of genius do you think?
He's just different.
I think, but...
He's just very...
Genius. How is he a genius?
Producer-wise.
Yeah, musically. Yeah, I'd say that. But to just say he's a genius, nigga ain't no genius.
But like he is though, producer-wise.
Yeah, musically-wise.
So he can say so this
may sound crazy, but I'm pretty sure I heard in an interview that nigga said he can see sounds.
Yeah.
Like he says when he closes his eyes, like he can see the sounds.
I think a lot of the people that get up there that are outside of the realistic sphere, I think they think that they're connected to gods. Sometimes.
Yeah, I believe that.
Like Will Smith.
Ain't it crazy like making music and make somebody's psyche like changed to that?
Yeah. Will Smith literally talked about his thing with Denzel. Denzel said the devil comes at you when you're at the top. To where like Will Smith's now like thinking of himself as like some kind of like person of God, I guess. I don't fucking know.
What do you mean? Like, what do you mean the devil comes at you? And no disrespect to Denzel, because that's a real A-list type nigga, top of the line. But the devil come at you like, come on, my dog, a nigga made a joke.
Well, he probably took it out of context.
Well, yeah, I know what this saying. But like, this goes back to what we said last week about fat shaming and shit. Learn how to take a joke. There's enough bullshit and bickering and arguing going on in the world. Learn how to take a simple joke, right? Yeah. Was it that bad?
There's a difference too in it being a joke and being like
malicious.
Well, yeah, and it's usually the difference between 1 and 2 jokes. The first one's probably a joke. As long as it's not too harmful, it's probably most likely a joke. If you're offended, you can open your mouth and say, hey, can you not say any more of those jokes? That offends me. Like, you know what I mean?
I guess in that situation, because they're at the Oscars. But when you're in a place where a comedian is on stage doing
especially
his thing,
their show. If it's their show, yeah.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Just be quiet or leave.
Well,
you know what I mean?
The thing was
if Will Smith, if you were Chris Rock and you said G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it, and Will Smith went like this.
Yeah.
It would have had much better effect.
Yeah.
For
he would have respected him a lot more.
Yeah. He would have been like this. He would have said, okay, I get it. But I have to show I'm not a bitch and smack you. You know what I'm saying?
I just love how people were like, what did Chris Rock think was going to happen?
When he walked up there?
Yeah. Like
he probably thought they was going to do some play type of joke or shit.
He literally said on the mic, he goes, uh-oh, here comes Richard. Like, he was literally like playing on his King.
Said that?
He was playing on his King Richard part. And I was like, oh my God. He thought something like sweet was going to happen. Like, he was going to just sit there and like mess with him. Like, I didn't. That's why I knew it wasn't scripted whenever he was like saying like Richard, like
right.
That was some he thought it was gonna be some nice shit.
Then when he said, and that was the greatest night in the history of television.
Yeah. But our friend Busky said everybody in the building was like, oh shit, after he started saying, keep my wife's name out of your fucking mouth. Like, and you watch the video back, it gets quiet as fuck. Like, people gotta be asking around, like, oh shit, he's serious. He's crazy, isn't he? Like,
I would have loved for that to been Chris Rock. Yeah. As soon as he said, keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth, I would have said, keep August's dick out her fucking mouth. And then I would have said it just right back. Because
I don't know if you said it on camera or not, but you said he's lucky that wasn't Chappelle.
Yeah.
Chappelle would have had a 3-hour special.
Yeah, because the awards would have been over. It would have just been Chappelle on stage smoking cigarettes like, I don't know why you even talk about this bitch like that.
That's too weird.
Bitch, don't you love Tupac still? I was watching on TikTok. It was a Kevin Samuels video, and it was him like watching a video, and Willow Smith had wrote a letter to Tupac, and then he was like, Tupac died in 95. Willow Smith ain't never met Tupac, and here she is writing a letter to her mom's old boo. Her parents been married 20 years, 25, 30 years. And she's writing a letter to a dead man. He's like, that kind of lets you know what's going on in their house. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Ain't that crazy though?
Yeah.
She was like, I miss you and want you to come back, and my mommy loves you and blah, blah, blah. I'm just like, weird fucking shit. And then the son, he's weird too. Jaden?
Yeah.
I remember Karate Kid. That shit was hard.
Yeah.
I want to go home. Them Asian kids was whooping his ass. But you say, little boy, they was whooping his ass.
The way you said that.
I want to go home.
I can just see his little ass.
Then Jackie Chan, this nigga drunk, drinking Hennessy, fixing cars and shit.
Swat flies.
Oh man.
Or no, he was catching flies with chopstick.
Yeah, he was Mr. Miyagi. The first Mr. Miyagi, that nigga looked drunk during this movie too.
I never watched the first one. People always say I got to. I
You
don't
never
watch
seen it?
movies though, dude.
Yeah, I mean, my boss, this motherfucker, always be asking me about movies from the 80s. Have I seen them?
This dude came in today. He said, y'all haven't seen the movie Friday? I said, it's on my list.
You never seen Friday?
No, it's on.
Come on, dog.
I said, it's on my list.
You never seen Friday?
That's the one with Ice Cube, right? That's like his first one?
Yes. That's the one with Ice Cube. Ice Cube and Chris Tucker.
Yeah, Chris Tucker.
I'll give you a rundown on the movie. So Friday, Chris got...
You've given me one before, I'm pretty sure, but you can give it to me again. I don't
It's
remember.
Friday. Ice Cube got fired on Thursday. Smokey is a local weed dealer. He on the front from Big Worm. And when you watch the movie over and over again, it's kind of crazy that like he was sending shooters to kill this nigga over like a half ounce of weed.
Hell no.
Like he fronted this
Different
nigga like
time. It was in the 90s.
yeah, he fronted the nigga like a half ounce and he smoked it up and didn't have the money by the end of the night. And they like pulled up in a van and like pulled the door back and 3 niggas shooting Uzis and like they running on the roof and shit.
They were probably trying to scare kids too. Like, if you buy half ounce and don't pay it back, you're going to get shot.
That's true. But yeah, basically Smokey, it's like Big Worm come in the morning to get his money and Smokey start counting it. And he like 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. And then he flipped the money over and he like 120, 140. He was like, Smokey, what the fuck is that? He was like, come on, man. And then he was like, I'm going to be back later on. And Craig just got fired. So the next day or that day, he was like, Craig, you don't smoke. He was like, man, I drink. He was like, Craig, you ain't got no job. At least smoke, try it with me. So they just sitting on the porch smoking weed and shit. And then Big Worm come by later on. And he like, where my money at, Smokey? He's like, oh, you know, me and Craig. Yeah, he was like, you know Craig? And then he was like, Craig got fired from his job yesterday. So you know how we do. We started getting high. We started getting fucked up. And he's like, what the fuck that got to do with me, Smokey? And then he was like, I ain't got the money. And then he was like, I'm going to be back tonight for both y'all niggas. And he drive off. And then Craig like, what's going on? And he's like, oh, I told him we smoked all this shit. And he was like, what? We? He's like, Worm. Come back. And then at the end of the movie, he fights the neighborhood bully, whoop his ass, and then that's it. It's a classic movie. Next Friday is funny too, but Friday after next is the funniest one.
I think you'll agree with me on this, but if you get in a fight, is it like supposed to be a boxing fight, or can you do anything if you get in a fight?
In a street fight?
Yeah, just anything.
Depends on who you fighting.
What do you mean?
Shit, if you fight me, you better be ready to get bit.
That's what I'm saying though. Like you definitely agree with me. So these people, they were arguing with me because there was a fight and this person got put in a headlock and was choking. They were getting choked. And these people wanted to say that the person that got choked won the fight. And I said, that doesn't happen.
Yeah, that's not how fighting works.
He about got put to sleep. Like, what do you mean he won the fight? And they're like, you can't choke in a fight. I'm like, what do you mean? I'm like, that's a fight.
Do you know
like,
what fighting is?
That's basically what I said.
Nigga, we ain't boxing out here.
That's what they were explaining. Like, if you go to the ground, you got to get up. And I'm like, no. They're like, you got to scrap. And I was like, no. I was like, that's boxing.
I told him, if you fight me,
I said,
I'm going to drag you to the ground and get on top of you and smother you, bro.
I told them, you're respecting the person you're fighting if you're doing that. And you're also boxing. That is boxing. Like, yeah. I said, you're respecting the person you're fighting for one, because like you're not jumping on them when they're on the ground. One
time I was watching a fight and I seen Tim Heatherly try to front kick a kid, kicked him right in the balls. The kick went right between the kid's legs. And the kid just stopped and Tim stopped too. He was like, oh man. He was like, bro, I'm sorry. And like the kid literally fell down and shit. It was one of the hardest kicks I had ever seen. Like a big fight broke out.
Yeah.
And he tried to kick him like straight up the middle, like, bow! And shit just hit him right in the fucking balls.
Dude, I just remember, I don't know why, but in PE soccer, Me and this kid, we kicked straight shins one time. Left a fucking bruise in my fucking shin. Till at least fucking almost the end of college.
Jesus Christ.
For real, it was a bump on my fucking shin bone. I was feeling it now. I don't feel it no more. But it had been there forever. Dude, but it was so perfect. Like, we both tried to kick the ball as hard as we could, basically. And we met our shin bones. It was like a clash of steel. Like they do back in the old days, like with their swords. Clash.
Oh God,
dude,
that sounds.
I couldn't
terrible.
walk. Like I had to like limp off, like to the goal. I think is where we had to play, and I sat there. I don't know why I thought of that though.
That sounds horrible.
It was, dude. It was god awful. The whole week after that was like I was making sure nothing hit it because like then it was stinging.
Remember we played a game in PE where you could pick the ball up with your hands or kick it or throw it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I forgot what that shit was called. And he did the drop in the middle of the court, and my dumb ass went to grab it with my hands, and the other dude just kicked, and the shit just kicked me right in the fingers. Like, you know when your fingers hit, like, and it like hit all of them.
Fuck that.
And bro, my hand was hurt. Bro, they was hurting so bad for literally like weeks.
When I was dipping, dude, I would bruise this finger. From doing that, and I'd be like working. I'd be working, and all of a sudden my fingers start hurting. I'd be like, "What the fuck?" And I'd be like, "There's no way," because it doesn't take very much. Like you put like 3 dips in, and you do it kind of hard a couple times. Like that's not good for your finger.
Yes, like
you're slamming it.
Speaking of, I was playing MLB The Show, and you know how you got to press X to pitch. And like hit it and hold it and then let go and then hit it again. I was fucking pressing so hard. All of a sudden, like the back of my thumb was hurting. And I was like, Jesus Christ, I'm playing a video game so hard that shit hurt. But look, we're going to take a quick break and then we will be right back with some more DogWater and Sales Guy Show. And we're back on this lovely episode of the DogWater and Sales Guys Show. DogWater, how you liking Hong Kong so far?
Ni hao.
Exactly. So now we're going to jump into a segment we like to do weekly called Step Into My Office. Step into my office. Step into my office. With the sales guy, I got a few videos to show my man DogWater here. Let's see what he thinks about them. Here's video number 1. Hold on.
What did you say? Is that video of last night? I didn't know they were filming us.
Sorry about that. Here we go.
Yeah, they filmed us last night?
Gentlemen, this is Democracy Manifest. What is the job? Making a meal? A succulent Chinese meal?
It's a terrible video of me. I don't like that. That was us last night downtown.
He said, eating a Chinese meal? Here's next.
Oh, thank God he's getting out. Oh my God, I thought we watched the guy get murdered. Play that again. That was so bad. He was inches away from ending his own life hitting that concrete.
Yep, he would have been OV.
I've been in that position before, and it is one of the scariest moments when you realize it. Just like, I don't know, I can tell you this story. We can do it after all these videos. You got to remind me of when we were sledding behind a car.
Sledding down the what?
Behind a car.
Sledding behind a car. Okay, I just got a couple more.
Because I tear your ass up over there. You wouldn't want to come visit me because when I got through with your ass, you wouldn't come over there. Go back in there and pull that shit up. Get it up out my damn floor. Because wasn't nothing in that floor.
She got the switch out on that ass. She would have broke them sticks off and whooped the shit out of them kids. I'm thankful my mama never beat me like a slave. She used to just whoop me with a belt. But them niggas who used to get whooped with switches and shit like that, I remember I had a friend named Tony B. God knows where he is now. his mama used to give his ass a choice. She said, I could either whoop your ass with a belt, bare ass, or I can whoop you with an extension cord and you can put on as much shit as you want to.
Damn.
And this nigga will always pick the extension cord.
Oh my God.
He'll put on two pairs of drawers, some compression shorts over them, some sweatpants over the compression shorts, a pair of shorts over that. Then he'll put his football pants on. And she'll get to whooping his legs, hitting the bottom of his legs because he couldn't feel it on his ass. Next video.
You're not going to be on my phone anymore, okay? Pay your own cell phone bill.
He said, sorry, guys. I don't know why that's so
That was like Chris Rock.
She said, that's so funny.
You're not going to be on my phone anymore, okay? Pay your own cell phone bill.
That's his phone, right?
I don't know.
I think it is. I think she literally took his phone.
Yeah,
She pays the bill. That's insane. Hell no.
Man, I couldn't think of much worse than
No.
having a drink poured on me.
No, especially, I hope it was water, because then you can at least dry it out a little bit.
Yeah, that's true. 2 more.
Telling my dad I got a tattoo.
Get out of town.
Them immigrant parents be slapping the shit out them kids.
He was hitting him so hard.
Look how he kicked him.
He did kick him. He slapped him. He necked him.
Yep, right in the back of his neck. Oh my God. Them parents don't be playing around. Them fucking Middle Eastern parents, they be whooping them kids' ass. And this one is fucking hilarious. I'm going to try not to laugh extremely loud because this one cracks me up. It might not be as funny to you. Read the caption as soon as you see it.
Exactly. The one for the
Go back. Play that again.
Did you see what the comment said?
Yeah.
Will you confront the nigga who been flirting with your girl?
Exactly. The one for the board.
Did you hear what the other kid said?
Not at the end.
The second time, he said, I got a girl already. He said, I know that. What you talking about?
No, I didn't hear the last kid. The other kid's last part. But I heard that kid. Yeah.
Listen.
Exactly. The one for the
Oh, God. Oh, my God. Oh, my God, dog. I would be crying. And, I forgot about this one. I do want you to see this. This is very funny.
You know how to do it. You won't teach me.
Okay, look.
Dirty ass fucking mob.
This is Rock supposed to have dirt on it, dumbass.
You know how to do it. You won't teach me.
Badass kids.
Dirty ass fucking mob.
The side eye with the
Yeah.
you go to school, man.
That's the funny part of the whole video. He said, did you even go to school, bitch?
He like rolled his eyes too.
Oh my God. And then just last one. Has your significant other ever made you this angry?
I just want you to listen to me.
Play that again. Oh, I will say though, me and my girlfriend, we have shouted across the street right next to Busch Stadium at each other while we were fucking highly intoxicated.
Did you turn around and hit the wall?
I may or may not have hit a cigarette or cigar out of another person's car just randomly because I was that fucked up. And you know me, I don't talk to random strangers, so I had to be very messed up.
I thought you was gonna say some real white boy shit. Like she made me mad and I hit a hole in the wall. I didn't mean to.
I was so fucked up. I was on another planet that night and we were literally yelling across the street right next to Busch Stadium. Play that again though, because the thing was funny as fuck.
I just want you to listen to me.
The part where he comes back, dude, you can see he's got his hands clenched and he's so like in the moment. He's like, I just want you to listen to me. That's all the rage he has been built up in him.
Oh shit. Okay, I promise this is the last one. This was very funny as well.
Did you break the couch?
You didn't see that?
I don't know if she hit that or not.
Look at the right here. She broke the shit out.
From the top rope.
Yeah, you know they gonna be called, the Airbnb people go call them like, hey, we was wondering what happened to our couch. They gonna be like, it was like that when we got there.
No shit, yeah. Without reporting it before.
Oh my God. But that has been another installment of Step Into My Office. Thank y'all so much for joining us. And DogWater, is there anything else you want to go over today?
Yeah.
You were supposed to tell me about sledding behind a car.
About not near death experience, but could have been if I hit my head the right way on the thing that I would have hit. But anyways, you know the road. It's by Blisky's parents. Mm-hmm. So we attached a sled. It just snowed in our town. Our town's a small town. So if you live in the city, you will not understand. But in this small town, we don't have very many snow plows. And we were able to get to our friend's house by driving on the snow. So it was very slick. So we took the shittiest out of all of our cars. Admittedly, probably. We took the shittiest out of them. We tied a sled to the back of the car that you could sit in, and you could kind of like move it.
Right.
But like it was, if you rode it on a road that was like loose rock. Well, no, actually, we had enough snow where if you rode it on a road that had not been like really like seriously plowed, you were riding on it just like it was snow. If you felt any rock, it was like just a little bumpy, but it was like a plastic sled, so it was kind of nice though. It was like a little toboggan type thing. You were just sitting in it. But we pull out of Blisky's. I'm on the sled, I think. I might have been the first one. I don't know. We might have came back. I don't know. Anyways, I'm on the back of it this time. And we turn to go towards Main Street in town. So it's right there on that corner by his parents. We turned on that corner. And I don't know who was driving. They went a little too fast though. And it fucking whipped me around. And dude, I had to do at least 5 rolls. But I had to be going probably 10 to 15 miles an hour just rolling because I was like flung. I started rolling into the grass. And there's a telephone pole and a stop sign. And I get up. I had rolled like 10 feet past them. I get up and I had rolled in between them. They were literally maybe 5 feet apart, if that, maybe like 3-4 feet apart, to where like maybe 3 people could fit through it at the same time if we were rolling like that. It was just like, if I would have hit that and my head would have smoked it, I'd be dead. Like I got.
Is that your closest to death experience in life?
Oh, probably not. But it
What
was
would you
one.
say the closest you've been
I
to
don't know
death?
off the top of my head, but that one was definitely one that like I got up and I realized it in that moment, and I was like, I'm gonna wait till we go to a parking lot to get back on this thing. Like I was like, I'm done trying to die today.
Can you think of any other close calls?
Another fucking scary one, dude. I was driving back to school. It was Easter a couple years ago. I was driving back to school in Indiana, so I was going east, and it wasn't
on Easter.
It wasn't near death for me, but like it was definitely another scary one like that. I'm driving and it's another snowstorm, and the interstate I'm going 55 on, so that's how slow I was going. I was going probably pretty fast for most people, and it was basically like one of the worst snowstorms we had. But I'm trying to drive through it. I get to like Vandalia area, and they have 2 exits there. The first exit I go through, and I see to my right. On the far right, there's, you know, the interstates that we have, there's like these long, like gated, like, they're like the barbed wire fences, like the cheap barbed wire fences for cattle, basically, or like just livestock. They got it lined up against the road. So like, you know, it's kind of off the road though, usually, and there's a big ditch. So in that huge ditch, there's a semi truck, but it's parked like, it's facing this way, and it's like diagonal.
Traffic?
It's like diagonal. But it's all the way by that fence. It's probably like close to 30 yards off the road, but like it's facing, like it drove that way. And I look in the median, and you just see tire tracks that had drove through the median. This semi had crossed on the interstate, probably going at least 45, 50 miles an hour. Semi cross head-on traffic to go over here, and like it was a busy ass night. Like there were people trying to get places, and I was like, it was Easter, and like I was like, that is fucked. I literally called my parents. I was like, I'm staying at a hotel tonight at the next exit. I literally go to my hotel. The 2 semi truck drivers that did it are sitting there trying to get a hotel room, asking the people where they can get a drink, dude.
Damn.
Like, and they're like, it's Easter, and it's like 9 o'clock. Like you're not gonna find anywhere that's gonna have alcohol besides a gas station if they're even open.
Well, on our way.
It was. I probably have more, but those are just 2 off the top of my head. Like I just saw them in real time, and I was like, glad I wasn't here at that certain time, because I would not be here no more.
I was in a car accident. That one was pretty
I couldn't imagine that.
gnarly. I fell asleep behind the wheel, and like you said, crossed across the median, and ended up on a ditch on the other side. But like the car was going like 50. And while I was asleep, bro, this motherfucker jumped the culvert.
Your car?
Yeah. When I had a Taurus. I used to have a silver Taurus. Bro, this motherfucker jumped the culvert, and I woke up midair.
Fuck that.
It was one of the most terrifying things in my life.
I could not imagine.
Dog, I'm telling you, imagine just being like this and waking up and your car is just in the air.
Like you just see
and
the
then
sky.
it's just coming.
Yeah.
Bow! Just hit straight onto the ground.
You hit head on with the ground?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it wasn't like this, but like.
So the ground stopped you eventually at the.
Yeah, it did. Car slid a little bit after that. That was extremely scary. And then, I'm trying to think of another real close one.
I can't think of any of them like just standing like still or like not in a car. That's the scariest thing is like these have been in cars.
Yeah, dying in a car wreck, that would fucking suck.
But I mean, I don't know how many people do, but
Did you
it's
see
a
they
lot, I
said
think.
the first person on the scene at Henry Ruggs' accident, they say like his body was like hanging halfway out the car, and they was like, we thought he was dead.
Oh, about Ruggs?
Yeah. Like when the first person who seen like the accident and walked up, they say like his body was like hanging out the side of the car and shit. But when do you think he'll be able to come back? 3 years? 2-3 years?
Oh yeah. As long as he shows that he can still run a 4.4,
Yeah.
he'll be back. He was one of the deep threats with Tyreek Hill. I think Jamar Chase is in that class. Some people don't put him in that class, but they're just dudes that can run by the whole defense.
And I was reading some things about like Deshaun Watson victims and shit, and I'm not a victim shamer, but sometimes the comments on Facebook and shit just be too funny. Like a lady was talking about how the Browns should be ashamed of themselves and blah, blah, blah. And somebody commented around, was like, look, the Browns have been ashamed for themselves for the last 40 years. They want to win some fucking football games. They don't care if their quarterback grabbed a little ass. I just love how Deshaun, well, I don't love it, but I just think it's funny how Deshaun Watson always wanted his booty massaged. Are you familiar with the glutes? Like, this nigga always wanted a bitch to massage his booty cheeks. Can you massage my glutes for me? Like, what type of shit is that, my dude?
Need to ask the Clemson trainers what happened.
Yeah. I wonder if he was on better behavior back then. But, what was it, 22? And not one criminal case got picked up?
I think there's only like 10 criminal.
22 civil.
Yeah.
But all 10 criminal got.
Yeah.
You think they settled out of court?
I don't know. I would hope so for his sake, because if they didn't settle, like, they can just bring new evidence to just get a new grand jury.
You know they all finna write books and shit now.
I think they're going to keep Baker with him. Even though
They are.
No, they
Baker's about to be a backup, dog.
They have Jacoby Brissett. Yeah.
They're gonna have 3 quarterbacks. Bro,
I think they're trying to sell Baker.
Who's gonna take him though? That's the thing. Like,
Yeah, he's gonna have to take a pay cut. He's gonna have to redo his contract, and they're gonna have the Browns are still gonna have to pay some of his contract.
Yeah.
But they'll be able to offload him. But they brought Jacoby Brissett in because they know that Deshaun's about to get like an 8-game suspension probably at least.
Right.
But that's nuts to me. Like, he literally was investigated, and it turned out he was an innocent man, which is fucked. That had happened. But, like, they're going to punish him for being an innocent man.
That's the thing about those types of situations.
You can't really do much.
No, but it's just like, even from our perspective, like,
Just fucked up.
like you want to believe the women, but like when the court says like, well, we don't believe anything happened.
Yeah, well, this is also a problem with the court system too. And my girlfriend she's talking about just like how that's why women don't bring it forward usually, because it's so hard to prove.
Well, that's how fucking, like, I understand that, but like, you understand how like everything is hard to prove.
Yeah.
Like murders is hard to prove. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That's the whole thing the justice system is based on. You have to be able to prove shit. But I can definitely understand where she's coming from. And
like, there's just, I mean, I wouldn't want my business out there either if I didn't win it, probably. Even if I was wrong or if somebody else was at fault. I don't know.
But like my brother-in-law is a detective. And he was like, he's like, that's the thing about these courts and shit. He was like, you have to have proof. He was like, I know that so-and-so killed so-and-so outside of McDonald's. He's like, I know. Trust me, I know. I got it figured out. But I have to have proof to bring in front of the state's attorney. And if I don't have that proof, he's going to walk free. And you think he's going to stop killing? Because he just got away with that one pretty easy. Yeah. And he's like, nope, he's back on Snapchat 2 days later. 2 pistols up. Just beat that body, you know what I'm saying? And he was like right back on the street to kill again. But, and then that's the same perspective of what she's saying. You know what I mean? Somebody knows that he raped her, but there's no proof. So is he likely to do it again?
Yeah.
You know. It's the purgatory we live in this world, you know? That gray area. The USA.
Shout out USA for making the World Cup. But say in the USA. USA. We can't say that too loud here.
Oh, fuck those people up there.
They're fucking listening everywhere, even though we are in the democratic version of their country.
It ain't too democratic. You seen what happened when Daryl Morey tweeted about it? Do you remember that? When Daryl Morey did that?
Over here we got USA, over here we got sweatshops.
The best of both worlds. Do you remember when Daryl Morey said that about free Hong Kong? And the Chinese government was like, no. We want our investment in the league back.
What? I'm pretty sure the island off of China is called Taiwan.
Taiwan, yeah.
That's not, Taiwan's not its own country anymore.
I'm pretty sure it's a part of China.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
I guess it was before. I don't know when Taiwan became a Chinese. You need to look that up because I think it might have been recently, and I think it kind of went under the radar. I could be totally.
They gained independence in.
Yeah, so they had independence.
1912.
When did they become part of China? Damn, so it was whenever they took over as the Republic of China. Okay. That's fucked though.
Yeah, to 1945.
Because Taiwan's, it's what, almost as big as Japan, ain't it?
Slightly bigger than Maryland, half the size of Scotland.
Damn, that's insane.
It'd be crazy how many, it's so crazy how many countries are smaller than Texas.
I mean, Maryland's not a very big state,
Not at all.
and that's half the size of Scotland.
Yeah.
That's insane. And Scotland's also a very, northern country, isn't it? I'm pretty sure it is.
It's off England.
Yeah, they're all very
Considered
north
a
country.
Western, yes, considered a Western nation.
But, yeah. Yeah, you don't know. Bro, I never even realized the United Kingdom is like all of those, right? Yeah. I never put
Yeah, she's the queen of Canada, and
I never put that all together.
she's the queen of the Bahamas and Canada.
I thought the UK just referred to England.
England?
Yeah.
No, it's the whole.
Never even realized. I'm very sorry to Scotland, and who else is there? Ireland.
Ireland. I don't think they are anymore. They're their own. They got their own independence.
Yeah,
She's the queen of Northern Ireland, is part of the UK, not Ireland.
I got you.
But look, these are the states she's the head of: Australia, the Bahamas, Barbados, Belize, Canada, Fiji, Ghana, Jamaica, Kenya, New Zealand, Nigeria, Pakistan. Ain't that crazy how
Yeah, it is nuts. Most of those are islands, but yeah.
but yeah, ain't that crazy just how big the British Empire was?
Mm-hmm.
That they just took over all that land. And I was reading a book about it. You know why? I might have said this type of shit on the show, but they was basically saying why are the English able to do all of that? And it was it's basically because they just live in a climate where they can grow food. So they strongest men don't have to worry about hunting 24/7.
Yeah.
And the women don't have to worry about that. They have farmers who just farm the land and bring it to people. And then people can have time to study and learn about shit. Because I was reading Guns, Drunks, and Steel, and he's basically saying well, when you live in New Guinea, you don't really have time to, back in them times, you don't have time to sit down and study shit and learn about irrigation and shit because you have to worry about the fucking pack of wolves.
Which is true, though.
This shit is mad crazy.
I mean, even you could compare it with our civilization, Native Americans to what we do. They were living off the land.
Yeah. And then the British came over.
And then we came.
But the thing was, in America, the Native Americans, they was living fine, but they didn't have time to fully expand and shit because there's still tons of wild animals and shit like that.
Yeah.
In Britain.
We had the technology of the gun. The gun
Yeah,
really
they just
changed
brought the
things.
gun over.
That changed so many things.
Yeah. You imagine what it's like seeing one of your friends get shot with a gun and you have no idea what that thing is?
Or how it even works.
Oh, you have no idea, nothing. You just see him fall down and you what the fuck?
It's probably magic to you. Because you don't see it.
Dead serious, bro.
It's just it'd be like a magic wand almost.
Right.
So.
Yeah, imagine them Native Americans, eventually they got guns because they stole them from people and fucking bought them. But at first when they just straight up arrows and little short spears and shit, just fighting people on horseback with guns. But it was a cold move what the white man did to the Indians. The divide and conquer.
Damn right.
I remember on Inside the NBA, they had a thing a few years ago. It was like Lakers versus the Bucks. And it was back when they still sucked, both of them. And it was like $7. And Chuck was like, don't buy that, America. Do not spend $7 on a game. That is highway robbery. He's like, I haven't seen nothing worse than that since we stole everything from the Indians. I'm glad I stopped saying that as much. Indian?
Yeah.
Because, like, to me, it's very offensive to call Native American an Indian. Because, like,
when you think about why,
there's literally Indians, you know, like in the world. You know what I mean? And they think of it, well, obviously I wouldn't know 100%, but I feel like they take it as like a barbaric term.
Yeah.
Like calling them an Indian. But do you ever think there's some Native Americans like, I'm not fucking Indian?
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm Native American. I'm not a fucking Indian. I don't have...
That's the other thing, like, as a Native American, you can't even just call yourself an American, like, even though that's what you are, like,
yeah,
you're the true embodiment of an American.
But are you? Because
now, yeah,
that wasn't really America. That was just they land before. The white people is what made it America.
Yeah, now.
But back then, when they took the land, like before, that was just a big area of land.
But they are true Americans, though. Like, they were, like we are. But the people that raided them weren't.
I understand that. But I'm saying, like, when they was in control of the area, like, it wasn't America. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, white people came, took it, outlined it, and was like, this is America. You know what I mean? Before, I feel like they was just living. They were just living in their territory. Yeah, living in their territory. But before we go, I just want to say, Will Smith, if I catch you out in these streets, it's fucking over for you, my nigga. I'm finna put these on your bitch ass, dog. Don't you ever slap Chris Rock. Don't you ever slap one of the ghosts. DogWater, before we go, you got anything you want to let the people know?
Will Smith, it's on site.
It's on site, weak ass nigga.
Put him up, Hancock. You asshole. I'll give you a fucking rock to the jaw.
And then one more before we go.
In the BLT, you heard me, bro. You heard me. Like, come on, bro. That shit don't make no sense. How the fuck is the BLT sit down? I'm about to come back here and smack the shit out of you.
See? What did I say before? He didn't say I'm about to come out there and punch you in your face. He said I'm about to come back there and smack the shit out of you.
So what, you punch somebody that's bigger than you and you slap somebody that's smaller than you?
No, you slap people as a sign of disrespect. You don't, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
When you and another man who you respect have problems and y'all want to go heads up, do y'all slap each other?
I mean,
no.
If you want.
No. When you ever see two niggas be like, no, fuck it, let's fight and be done. And they start slapping. You don't see that.
Idea.
No. The people he's trying to slap is to try to make them look like a bitch.
Yeah.
You know, that's the only point he tries to slap him. Nate Diaz be getting his ass whooped for a whole fight, slap somebody with 20 seconds left, and everybody's like, oh, no, Stockton. I'm like, bro, you was getting fucked up for 20 minutes. But thank y'all for watching another episode of DogWater and the Sales Guy. I am the Sales Guy.
I'm DogWater.
And thank y'all for watching.